5 minutes, see if you remember.
We don't have 5 minutes, sir.
Well, yeah, we are coming to the close.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have finally done it.
I am mere days away from the final cancellation of Rob Wilson from vidIQ. In 1 week, I will come back and cancel Rob Wilson for good.
That wasn't the usual intro. Press the same button. Must just be a glitch in the system. Nothing to worry about. Hey, folks, how you doing? Welcome to vidIQ, the Tuesday channel audit live stream service with you once again. We are the creator-obsessed YouTube education channel, and every single week we invite you into our learning creator classroom where you get a little bit vulnerable. You share your channels with us, the teachers, educators, motivators, and we share our knowledge, our wisdom, our experience of the YouTube platform to help you grow as YouTube creators. We are on episode number 46 of 2022, which will be just like all of the other ones that we've had this year, where we have hosts and guests on helping you, the vidIQ community. And as always, I cannot do this without my trusty steed of auditors and reviewers. Introducing first, he is our resident gaming expert, host of Wednesday video reviews, occasionally raises eyebrows at people when he wants to, and he is giggling to himself, and I have no idea why. Dan, how's it going? Welcome to the live stream.
You call us your trusty steed. Like, excuse me?
Yeah.
Trusty steed? You ride a steed. This is like...
Yeah, my trusty steeds.
That's messed up.
I have a stable, and I bring you out first.
I hate this analogy.
Dan, can you give me a horse noise? There we go. You see, you'll do whatever I tell you.
I hate it here.
All right then, so that's one trusty steed that's just trotted away. The horse has literally bolted. Introducing next, he's the coolest man on YouTube.
Me?
No, get out of it. Clear off. You're gone. Dan is now cancelled. Introducing next, the coolest man on YouTube.
Me?
We are continuing to campaign for the thinking emoji replacing with this. Oh, yeah. Hey, Jeff. Dan is back. I can't keep him out of a live stream.
What's going on, guys?
Dan, how's it going? What's going on? Are you my trusty steed?
I don't know about that, sir. More like a pack mule, if anything.
This live stream is starting brilliantly as always.
I'm more like a pack mule because I got to carry the stream sometimes. You know?
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. The insults will continue. I will allow this. Introducing next, as always, he needs no introduction. I will just give him the audit live stream floor for the next 15 seconds in 3, 2, 1.
Bruh, Ticketmaster. You had one job today, Ticketmaster. You had one job. You knew it was coming. You did a pre-registration and still somehow managed to fail all of us with you today, Ticketmaster. We are not friends right now, but you're lucky I'm about to go to work. What's up, Rob? What's up, Dan? What's up, Jeff? We in here. Let's go.
I'm glad to see you're on topic today, Viper. What was all that about?
I don't know. What was that about?
You tell me. You tell me. Well, this is going to be a really interesting live stream. It looks as if nobody's up for auditing whatsoever. We're just going to have lots of fun, frolics, and gaming, and riding horses everywhere, apparently. I have a question for you all. If you were going to quit YouTube today, right now, and of course none of us are going to do that, but just let's fantasy book roll this. If you're going to quit YouTube today, what would you be doing instead, whether it be a passion, a hobby? I'm going to pitch this question to Viper first. Like, if YouTube didn't exist anymore and you were free from this creative shackle, what would you be doing instead of making YouTube videos?
Probably go back to doing what I was doing before, working in IT, troubleshooting laptops and desktops, and trying to put on my best customer service face, dealing with people that probably have no business handling technology.
sounds like Viper definitely doesn't want YouTube to end anytime soon
No.
because he will go back to work. Dan, if YouTube wasn't a thing, what would you
Twitch.
do instead? Twitch? You just find
No,
another.
quick. Damn.
I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I don't like. Well, I had a good time with my previous gig, but I was kind of freelancing it. So sometimes it was good times and sometimes it was not good times. So Twitch.
Your escape strategy is already in place. Jeff, there's no more YouTube. What are you doing instead?
I probably would have been doing what I was doing before. It's just, doing the old job, fixing and repairing things and, building Lego sets in my off time.
Yeah, maybe I didn't phrase the question right, because it wasn't supposed to be if YouTube is no longer your job. It was just like if YouTube wasn't something that you could do anymore, you couldn't create. What would you fill your time with in terms of a passion and a hobby? But it sounds like all of your passions and hobbies are working, which is fine. Whatever. I would just play video games all day. I would play VR cricket until my Oculus Quest battery ran out. Then while it was charging, I would go for a run, walk the dog, so that I can then play a bit more VR cricket until the battery runs out.
Oh.
The cycle would continue.
The best answer is in the chat right now. Bank robber.
Oh, there we go. So
Fair enough.
Someone has a passion for robbing banks.
Hey, man.
Each to
You got to do what's right for you, man. Follow your passion.
Yeah.
All right, so it is still clear that YouTube is probably not top of our agenda today as we're auditing channels, so this will be a really interesting live stream. But if we are able to get back onto topic, this is how we're going to operate for the next 2 hours for your 45-second explainer. Not that one. Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. After the live stream, don't forget to download the vidIQ extension where you can get a custom channel audit, daily ideas, and an AI-powered video title generator. Link is in the description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started.
All right, before we get started, Rob, I'm just curious, did anybody else besides myself wake up to snow this morning on the ground?
My window is just a television screen mounted on the wall. So it's just sometimes
it's been snowing here in Vancouver since the beginning of November. So yeah, we're already into winter.
What is outside? What is the outdoors?
How do we get there?
Yeah. Rob's not impressed.
I'm just going through my routine. Like, I know what I'm doing, and then I get asked if it's snowing outside. I can't compute this on this live stream. Where was I? I was going to tell you there's an extra bit of housekeeping this week. We are testing super chats. We've turned them on the channel, and that's not going to guarantee you a channel audit, and it never will do. not on my watch. But somebody donated $5.53.
Oh,
but the live stream will not tell me who it is. Presumably, they did that maybe yesterday when the stream went live. So apologies that we can't read that out. But whoever did donate that super chat, thanks. And no obligation, but if you do send us a super chat, we'll try to remember to read it out while we're auditing channels. But let me stress, we're not going to pick channels based on the super chats, because this is a free service and it is a community service. And the key to it being a community service is that although we are auditing individuals' channels, you need to look at this from the broader perspective. So irrespective if you are a beauty channel, a tech channel, a movie review channel, a Lego channel, etc., etc., we talk about fundamentals generally. There are common mistakes all creators make. So try to bear that in mind when we're talking about a channel that's not necessarily related to your topic or content. The strategies behind what we're discussing are possibly relevant to you. So if you can bring up your channel on a second screen so that you can be comparing your channel to ones that we see and review, that would be greatly advised, because we always get oversubscribed every single week. We get thousands of channel submissions. We audit as many as we can, but we can't cover everybody. And with all of that being said, Dan, Jeff, Viper, shall we get into some actual channel auditing?
Yes.
I get a salute. I get a yes. I think Viper is refreshing the Ticketmaster screen, so we'll just let him get on with that. Right, let's audit the first channel. And this is the first channel that's submitted this week when the stream went live yesterday, and it comes from I Crave Network. And I'll just throw it over to Jeff for first impressions on what you're seeing here. What do you think's going on?
Let me see here. Sorry, I got zoomed back out, so I'm trying to zoom back in so I can see what's going on. All right, here we go. So looks like we've got a lot of stuff going on in this banner. So we got movie / series reviews, theatrical streaming, physical media, I Crave Network. All right, so kind of busy on the banner with their logo and all that stuff. I would probably kind of shift away from that and really just focus in on a really, really clear value proposition. Less than 5 words, tell me exactly what I'm going to get from this channel. If it's movie / series reviews, whatever that might be, try to keep that very clear so we don't have all this busyness going on. And again, I'll restate it. We don't need your name twice. So you see your name on the channel, we don't need it in the banner, because it's, you don't have to have it twice. It's just kind of redundant at that point. From the looks of it, though, that's what we're getting. They've got a Wakanda Forever review, Armageddon Time movie review, Poltergeist review. So it looks like we're getting a lot of movie reviews, but which is kind of interesting because it looks like they're doing some old school stuff too, like Poltergeist and the Lost Boys.
Yeah, those are firmly entrenched in the 1980s, I think, and then Wakanda Forever came out literally days ago. Viper, first impressions just on thumbnails, titles, that type of thing?
Thumbnails look good. Titles are a little bit long. You might want to find a way to shorten those up a little bit, but other than that, they look cool. Also, I see let's see, it looks like you're asking questions on your titles and different things like that, but you might want to try maybe putting a little bit more opinions in your title. Like, instead of acting with your Hocus Pocus 2 review isn't nostalgic against the original, talk about how something in the movie like happened, or maybe not like that, but give your thoughts about something that happened. Give your strong opinions or your strong thoughts about something that actually happened in the movie that might make people more wanting to click on that video, because it is a nostalgia against the original. I don't know if that's a good hook to get people in there. So I would say you're working on making your titles a little bit more enticing, and other than that, everything else looks good to me.
I guess what you could do is almost take that single word nostalgic, put question mark on it, and actually put that in the thumbnail, and that allows you maybe to add something else to the title, maybe an opinion. Like, you got double opportunity there for a bit of intrigue. Dan, what are you thinking?
Yeah, the thing that's standing out to me is some videos that have like a couple hundred views versus the ones that are over 1,000 views, and it's very clear to me which ones can get over 1,000 views, and it's the ones that are way more trendy, just movies and that are a bigger deal. This more niche stuff like the Elvis 4K review, things like that, like it just didn't resonate as much.
Sure.
So if I were them, I'd be looking for those trends. Like the Pinocchio one matches a lot of the content that's been doing well. I'd be looking for those trends, and I'd be looking to get in there before it's too late. Like, I don't know when the She-Hulk one came out, so 2 months ago, episodes 1 through 4 review. Was that trendy enough, or were you a little bit late to the party there, or were just too many people covering it? Maybe because Wakanda Forever is still in theaters, so this seems like a good time to be like giving those reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to cover it after it came out on download and Blu-ray and everything else, now it's too late. So that's a trend, just covering things early. And then the movies for a certain type of viewer, just like we would tell you to make videos for a certain type of viewer, you would cover movies that would appeal to a certain type of viewer. And I think you'd have a lot of success over and over. I think there's a correlation between people who would watch Glass Onion, Hocus Pocus, and Black Panther versus some of the other stuff is not doing as well. Or there might be. I would look at your data and see like what other factors are there, what your demographics look like, and so on.
Do you think it might be worth, say, taking the time and effort you spent on these 2 videos, which these nostalgic reviews of stuff that's maybe been upgraded to 4K but aren't seemingly doing well. You take the time spent on these two videos and then maybe do like a second video on Wakanda Forever, which is like a spoiler review, like so you can like almost double down on it, or like Easter eggs, like something that you can add a little bit more to, as you say, while it's trendy. That would be my idea if you wanted to sort of pivot to a more current form of content reviews.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. I think it takes a lot of time to make videos like that, and sometimes you gotta be honest with yourself too. Like something that I don't think is in the public sphere right now, like those 4K movie reviews, that's not very exciting. And the fact that even if it was the most popular movie ever just coming to 4K, is that really worthy of like an updated review? The content didn't change, it just got sharper, it physically looks better, but the people have seen it before, they know what they're in for, so there's not as much interest around those topics. So yeah, if you could take that time to keep covering topics of more interest, double down on things that are working, that's really great suggestion.
With every video here, the creators literally starting from scratch. They have to watch a brand new film and plan it and scripts and whatever, whereas you've seen that Hocus Pocus 2 did well, Wakanda Forever did well. Could you double down, like, and you don't have to do as much planning on it. You kind of understand what's going on in a film and you can expand on your knowledge there. That might be something to investigate a little bit more for I Crave Network. That is the first channel that we've audited this week. Thank you for the super chat from Idiot Plays. I'm going to give each of you 10 seconds for an editing tip for this person, starting with Jeff. What very quick editing tip?
Hire somebody if you can afford it.
All right. Viper.
Kill your darlings. Trim the fat.
Okay. And Dan?
Watch tutorials based around your editing software. Try and learn as many shortcuts with those tutorials as you possibly can. Even if the tutorial seems beneath you a little bit, you might pick up something new that can help you.
My advice would be, with your clips, don't be afraid to do a tiny bit of overlapping, like a fraction of a second from one clip to another, because it really adds a lot more pace and energy to the edit, if that's what you're gunning for with your content. So thank you for the super chat. Those are our quick responses to that question. Let's now audit the first gaming channel that submitted this week, and they call themselves Danny Derpy. 119 subscribers here, Dan, and I think they class themselves as a horror channel. And I've now been thinking about this over the years that we've been auditing gaming channels. I'm yet, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, to see a successful horror gaming channel that we've audited. They all seem to struggle to break out beyond a couple of hundred subscribers and 100 views per video. And the reason I say that is because we have one standout video here about Fallout, which has 1,500 views versus everything else, which is kind of in that same zone of just not gaining any momentum traction. But I'd love to know your initial thoughts here.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm just kind of taking it in. Like, so you said the horror channel. I'm hung up on the Fallout thing because I don't view Fallout as like a horror game. So, it's a bit outside their scope, right? So like, you got all these different games. The thumbnails look good. It looks like you're trying to put some work into them, trying to put some intrigue there. But I mean, like 7 months ago, you were really hitting it hard, and you couldn't seem to crack 30 views.
Yeah.
Once in a while, something would get closer, but we never got over 100. And then you tried the Fallout thing, and it looks like you immediately went back to horror after that. And so this is kind of like a question you have to ask yourself when you find yourself in this situation. Like, I want to try something a little bit different. So you played a game that a lot of people have heard of, and it was a bit outside your niche, and then you got over 1,000 views on it. And so you have to ask yourself, like, was that a mistake? Or do I really like this game, and can I see myself continuing to play it? Because the answer in your case would probably have to be yes if you want to continue seeing these types of views. But if you keep playing horror games that nobody's looking for, nobody's ever heard of, you are completely reliant on the developers of that game and whatever marketing strategies they have to get that game in front of people, because your channel is too small to be the one to do it. You either have to have a huge YouTuber cover it so that you can jump on their coattails and you can also make content because people are now ravenous for it, or you have to hope that they are really good at marketing. And then again, another YouTuber gets on it and gets people wanting more and more of it. So I would be looking at this and asking myself one or two things. Do I want to keep playing Fallout, or maybe should I pivot to more popular games? Because I haven't really heard of any of these myself. I don't follow this niche too much, but I know of the big ones like Phasmophobia, for example. And I'm not seeing a lot here that's, standing out to me as like familiar. And that's gonna really dictate your early success.
Interesting comment here from Muffled. With horror, in my experience, the personality takes precedence. The game, in some sense, is secondary. And I think we can definitely get on board with that, Dan. But sometimes, for a smaller creator, you need that big game impact just to get that initial discovery, and then hopefully going forward, the personality is going to drive the content.
Yeah. If nobody's looking for the content, nobody's going to click on these videos. Especially when you're a smaller channel, no one really knows who you are. Then you sort of have to lean on the strength of the topic that you're talking about. And choosing those topics wisely is what Dan and Rob are referring to here. So personality always plays a big role. I mean, obviously that's what gets people to stay, right? Your knowledge, your personality, your charisma, whatever that might be. But we have to be more strategic in what we're choosing, and going with a lot of indie horror games, while they're freaking cool, right? They're cool to play and cool to review. We also have to balance that out with, are people even going to bother clicking, or are people even searching for this stuff? So we have to kind of try to nail down exactly where we want to go with this channel. And if you want to see success, a strategic shift might be necessary in your video topics.
Yep.
Well, two more things I want to point out on this channel. First of all, the curious nature of the new thumbnails. We can see that they're curved. Notice now how if you put a border around your thumbnail, we're getting this little choppy effect. So be aware of that. I'm not saying that you can go back through all your old thumbnails and change them, but you just, thanks to YouTube's decision here, it's having an impact on thumbnails. And then this thumbnail in itself, I think we would all say objectively, these thumbnails are of a decent standard, aren't they? They're well structured, well thought out, they're striking. Is it simply a case of this thumbnail is bright, stands out more, that it got more clicks? Or is it the fact that it's about Fallout 4? I'm just curious if a creator should experiment with some more bright thumbnails on the other horror games that they're covering. Any counter arguments or thoughts there? Yeah, Viper, you agree?
No, I think you were definitely onto something. I was going to say that some of these thumbnails just look really dark and grungy, and if your thumbnail is not easily able to be seen or understood by a viewer, they're not going to take the time to click on it. So the fact that the Fallout thumbnail is more bright and vibrant, I think that definitely lends it to it getting more clicks, on top of the fact that it's a more relevant title in the library. But definitely that color scheme is working better for them.
Cool. All right, then. So that is Danny Derpy. Dan, I can see that you're starring the super chats that are coming in. So thank you for doing that. Maybe we'll tackle a few at a time after we've audited a couple more channels. So we'll look next at Isaac Young. Viper, did you pick this channel?
Yep, that's old Viper, yep.
All right, Viper, let's introduce ourselves to this creator. So
it looks like he's just doing variety content from what I can tell, and he's getting decent views for his channel size. I have a comment on the thumbnails, though. Some of the thumbnails just look kind of cheesy. And now, I know this is just my opinion, but the whole white outline, it kind of looks kiddyish and childish to me, and maybe that's what you're going for. But in my opinion, I think you should figure out a better outline or glow effect for your thumbnail when you want to highlight something other than that white chalk outline, because it's just not working. Also, in some of your thumbnails, they're a little bit too busy. You might want to try to simplify them. For example, my first day of junior year went like this. You got 3 pictures down there, and you can't even read that text at the top. So I'll maybe simplify that to maybe 1 or 2 pictures that highlight that how your first day went. And just to make the thumbnail simpler for somebody to look at and understand what's going on, because you got too much stuff going on. And then we got this spending the day with my new puppy. I can barely make out what's happening in that thumbnail. Like, what is going on? I mean, I see the dog, you're laying on the bed. It looks messy to me. So I really need you to figure out how to simplify these thumbnails and make them less congested so they could be more clearer to a potential viewer. And then your views might start going up if people can easily understand these thumbnails.
And here's an interesting thing about that particular video. It is a huge outlier on the channel, 43,000 views. I'm wondering, I'm not going to say I'm worried, because the creator is still finding their feet on YouTube and they're experimenting with lots of different topics. But could this channel be driving the audience to a certain expectation of content that they haven't seen for 3 months? I'd be curious to know if this video is still getting views and whether or not they thought about revisiting the topic, or maybe they shouldn't, because that's not what they want to do. Just a general open discussion here, folks. What do you think? Could that video, as successful as it has been, be a hindrance long term if it keeps getting so many more views than anything else on the channel?
I think so.
Yeah.
People are coming in for the cute dog, and it's okay if you're if it's no longer a new puppy, the dog grows up, right? I think that like you consider including it more in the content, including your dog in the content, and doing challenges, but that involve your dog in some way. Maybe just the fact that sometimes your dog is present, and that could already be the case. But I would be trying more animal centric content. But this kind of goes back to the same discussion we just had, right? Like a channel played a game that they don't normally play, they got a bunch of views, and then stopped doing it, and we're like, oh, you can just do more of that. But there might be a reason why they're not doing that. And so, it's obviously not the direction they want to go when you look at some of these other videos that they've done, but it was a direction that was working, and I think there could be something to it.
Mm-hmm. And any more thoughts from you, Jeff? I'm just scrolling through the topics. It's like, what's in my bag? There's a complete room transformation. There seems to be a loose college school vibe, but it's not in all of their videos. It's my first car, kind of like a young adult going through the.
Yeah, no, and I get what they're going for here, and this is one of those things where we have to set a goal, right? Because some people want to just treat their channel as a catch-all, but also expect growth, and we really kind of can't have both things when you're just starting out. You can definitely do that later on, 100%, but right now, channel focus is going to be a big thing. And that's one of the things where if you want this to grow, if you want to start pulling in views, if you want to get monetized, if you want to start getting higher subscriber counts, things of that nature, a bit of focus is really what it's going to take, whatever it is that you're passionate about right now. I remember myself as a teenager, how passionate I was about specific things. And if YouTube would have been around back then, it would have been amazing, because I would be able to talk about those things for hours. So you have to think about what those things are. And whatever that real thing is that you're super passionate about, try to start talking about that a little bit more often, and seeing where that can take you. But just overall channel focus, I think, is really what's hurting them here, at least at this point.
Okay, you know what I feel like doing? Just clicking on one of these videos and watching the first 10 to 15 seconds to see what the video quality is like versus the titles and the thumbnail. So we'll go through the most recent one. Foreign exchange student tries American candy for the first time. Okay, I'm going to pause it there. I don't know if you heard the sound there. I remember I had problems before the live stream. But just general thoughts on how that hook grabbed you.
Was there commentary?
There wasn't really commentary. They were just talking about how they were going to pay for the candy, I think. So there wasn't something on top telling us what exactly was happening. Just a text on screen.
So no human reciting it.
Correct. Yeah.
Because it felt like a weird start to a video. It felt kind of like, I get that the hook is there, right? Foreign exchange students trying American candy. So you're at the store buying it. You're telling that story, but it was so, I don't know. It needed something. It needed to be better introduced. It needed to be hyped up a little bit more. It just kind of felt like this video started playing, and I was looking at like footage from your phone. Like if I just grabbed your phone from you and started playing your most recent video kind of thing, not like an edited video for YouTube.
Yeah, it had some music on there, Dan, but I think you're right in that it wasn't really setting up the video or giving any stakes or like tension. It was the act of collecting the candy, which it's fine to a certain extent, but it just didn't have enough of a hook, I thought. And now I'm just letting it play to see, like, the editing is fairly sharp here. We're doing a lot of cuts, zooming in, zooming out. So there is some editing chops there, I can definitely see.
Yeah.
Now, why did we just have a quick look at this video? It's because, Dan, you have something very exciting to announce that's going to happen in 23 and a half hours.
Yes. Jeff and I are going to look at videos tomorrow, just like the one we looked at now. We'll go a little bit deeper than we did just now. Today, we're talking about your titles and your thumbnails. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about once people click into your video, how do we get them to stay there? Because that's also the next issue you might face. I have the perfect title and thumbnail. Why is no one watching my video? Well, it's because the first people who did left immediately in some cases. There's a lot of tips we're going to go over there. So join us tomorrow, same time this live stream started today.
So you're inviting Jeff. I'm available, Dan, if you need me. Don't know why you would ask Jeff.
Oh, I was giving you a break. You know, you've been busy, and I just thought, you know, you might want to hang out, chill.
Fair enough. If that's the way you want to be, no problem.
You maybe join us tomorrow. How about that? Like maybe the three of us.
We'll see. All right, I'm going to bring a couple of super chats here.
Want to?
A couple of super chats. Staffordshire Searcher, have you ever reviewed a detecting channel?
Of course.
Have we?
Yes.
What's a detecting channel?
Oh,
I'm assuming metal detecting.
See, I thought it was like
I thought
a
detective
crime channel. Yeah.
Well, like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Indubitably, Mr. Watson.
I think we have looked at some channels in the past, like a long time ago. I do remember reviewing a specific metal detecting channel. So hopefully that will come up maybe when you're randomly selected. Quick question here from Infinity Labs. How do organic views come in? What would be your general answer to such a question?
Who? Me? Who?
Anybody?
Anyone?
Anybody wants to help me out here?
So what, like, when you have like an interesting title and a thumbnail, like you've been following a topic, you know there's an audience for it. That's generally how it works, right? Like YouTube, you're going to put something out there, whether or not it's searchable, as long as it is tailored to an audience. YouTube's going to test it out on some people, and if those people in that initial group like it, it's going to put it in front of more and more people. And so that's where the organic views come in versus non-organic views, which you could argue would be if you put the video on Facebook or something, or if you pay for views by putting it like as an ad. That would be really, truly non-organic views. But I would even say in the context of YouTube, just making a successful Facebook post would be non-organic views in my mind.
I mean, you could technically argue that search-based content is not necessarily organic in one way, in that the viewer has a specific intent, and YouTube's trying to find content based on that intent.
True. Yeah.
And what we sometimes say is that a lot of creators get discovered through search, but you don't necessarily want to be staying search forever unless you're always targeting search. You want that more of an organic reach through browse and suggested. And like, if somebody discovers you on search, the next video you make is really important because YouTube is likely to show that next video on their browse page. And if you can have something that's more intriguing than it is problem solving, then you start to get maybe regular return viewers in that way. And the question here from Martucci, they have found a niche that's booming, which is stable diffusion. I have no idea what that is, but I'm glad you found that as a topic. How to expand this to get more subscribers? I'll let Viper chime in first, and then Jeff, Dan, if you want to add anything to that.
Okay, so basically my rule is whenever you have something that is this niche, that is this like drilled down, the goal is to make it appeal to a more broader audience, a bigger group of people. So what you need to figure out how to do is take whatever you're discussing under stable diffusion and try to relate it to something that's popular, maybe something in pop culture that covering something similar to that, or maybe a popular topic that's happening right now that you can kind of relate to something going on with stable diffusion. But whatever you can do to make content that relates that niche subject to something that more people will care about that's going on currently, you are going to have a much easier time bringing in viewers as opposed to just making content about that niche topic of stable diffusion, which only a small subset of people are going to know what it is and what it's about. Try to make it appeal to a bigger, broader audience, and I think that'll be a good start, a good place for you to start.
I think it says videos where you tell AI to morph an image from one place to another, so it evolves from something very basic to something very futuristic and modern. Like I've seen these stable diffusions of human evolution where we're all just going to turn into binary code at some point, or morph into an alien, so to speak. Jeff, Dan, anything to add on that question?
So is Stable Diffusion not AI image generation? Because that's what these videos are.
It is. That's what it is.
Because I understand what AI image generation is. I've played with some of those tools. They're pretty cool. But there's like a lot of questions too about them, such as like, is it ethical? Like, because a lot of people are saying like, oh, this AI is like almost too inspired by other artwork out there. So I feel like you could cover the topic, but like this could be a case of someone like me who didn't know the term Stable Diffusion, but I do know AI art generation. So it's using the right keywords to appeal to that broad audience, kind of like Viper was talking about. You know, you want to appeal to as many people as possible. So you want to use terms that don't kind of fly over everyone's head. I could be maybe I'm the only person in the world who's never heard of this, but you know, I would do both. Like this person's ranking for Stable Diffusion, right? So you could do that. And then sometimes you have videos that are a little more like, in terms of terminology, just lower level, entry level.
Okay, thank you for the answers. Thank you for the super chats. Just a shout out there to Strange and Macabre. Their channel is about true crime, paranormal, and cryptids. I don't know what that is. And also Tyrone's Kitchen. Love that you are passing on your knowledge. You are more than welcome, and we will pass on some more knowledge by auditing our next channel, which is DIY Tech Creation. Jeff, this is your pick. Tell us why. What are we looking at?
Sorry, just had a strange crew land in front of my house. Let's see here. So DIY Tech Creation. So one of the reasons I like this is because they're doing something a little bit different. So it came across as a tech channel when I first saw it, but really it's like they're building things. So it's almost like doing, they're like building gadgets or small creations, things of that nature, whether they're battery powered, LEDs, things of that nature. So I thought it looked kind of interesting. One of the first things that I wanted to mention, and of course there's plenty to talk about here for a newer channel like this. First thing I wanted to give them a piece of advice is on their titling. And this also goes for a lot of people in the chat, because I click on your names, go to your channels, and a lot of you are doing the exact same thing. So you need to stop doing this. 3 titles in the title. So we've got automatic, their newest video, automatic on off light, and then / light off light / automatic street. Like, listen. I need you to focus on a title. So your title, basically what it seems like is you're trying to keyword stuff a title. Yeah. That's just not how this works. We have to title videos for humans to click on. So it has to make sense to me as a human being, right? We're not trying to please an algorithm to click on this. You're trying to get a human to click on this. So why should I click on this? Is this how to build an automatic on-off light? You know, think of it in a way that it would make sense to you as a human being to click on it. And there's no need for the / this other title / a third title. It's just stop with all that. Just keep it simple in the actual video title where I can understand it, less than 50 characters. And then all that other stuff you're trying to put in there, just put that in the video description. So just simplify it. But yeah, that's one of the main things I wanted to point out here was their titles definitely need some work.
So for example, this one, how to make this lithium-ion battery charger, instead of adding a second way to describe the building of the light, you might want to add an intrigue in terms of like price, that you can do it in under $10, or you can do it in 5 minutes, or for complete beginner's guide, like I don't need any prior knowledge of electronics to build this battery, or maybe I do, like for a PhD graduate. That's kind of where we're going with that, right, Jeff? The idea of intrigue and incentive to click on the video.
Right. No, 100%. And this is also brings us to the other point of this also seems like they're making a video. They have the idea, they make the video, and then they try to wrap a title around it, and they're hustling backwards. So if you have the idea, get your title ahead of actually making the video. So if you're going to say, hey, here's how you can make this light for under $20, then you can go into the video knowing that that's your title, so you can structure the video around that, and it'll make more sense. Like as soon as they click, you say, here's how to make this light for under $20. The first words out of your mouth can be, hey, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make this light for under $20. So let's jump straight in. You're already confirming the click right inside that hook. So just another part of it, but coming up with those titles before you turn on your camera is really a key to winning here.
I like the phrase there, Jeff, hustling backwards. It's a lot harder to do that than hustling forwards, I guess. Thumbnails, any opinions on these from the three of you?
It really depends on who these videos are for. They're very short, so I worry that they're not teaching anyone anything. Like they're more satisfaction videos. They're like, oh, look at this cool thing I can do.
Yeah.
And so it depends, right? Like if you were teaching something to somebody, these are good thumbnails, I think, because they're very hands-on. Like I feel like I am going to learn what I want to learn. I would maybe take different angles and stuff that could be tweaked. But if this is like so once it's automatic on and off light, I would like to see that visualized in a different way, you know, like maybe a finger holding this thing on one half of the thumbnail, and then something else that symbolizes something lighting up or something on the other half. Like I think there's more things you can do, like the thumbnail in the middle there, the great idea, the handmade gift ideas. That one's closer to what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And it is funny how this seems to be like one of the worst performing videos, but this is a thumbnail that we feel is the best, the most illustrative of what the video might actually be about.
The execution wasn't great here, but it's definitely what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So the creator at this point is just a couple of months into their journey. So what I do want to congratulate them on is the fact that they've already hit 100 subscribers. They already have several videos a year over 1,000 views, which is excellent. And they're blending long form content with shorts. It seems to be like there's a nice mix of shorts and longs here. And these shorts are picking up traction as well. So I think it's great that you're able to tackle both of these different content platforms on your channel very early on. So yeah, very promising stuff here. Some tweaks to the titles, some tweaks to the thumbnails, maybe what you need to do next. So that is DIY tech creation. All right, the next channel we are going to look at is Next Level Publishing. And the reason I picked this channel is because they are at the very beginning of their YouTube journey. They have published 5 videos. 5 videos. And interestingly, they published them all on the same day. Now, usually we may criticize this as a bad idea because you want to give each of your videos a chance to breathe. However, there is a train of thought that when you first launch your channel, you want to launch with a few videos so that if the viewer is satisfied by the first video that they watch on your channel, they already have something else to watch. They don't have to wait for you to publish something else. So I'm not going to criticize them too much for posting all of these videos on the same day. But what I would say from now on, you do want to stagger your content. You know, like one video every 3 days, 2 days, whatever your cadence is. Try not to post any videos on the same day. So that's my next strategy for you. Viper, if you were to give this channel one piece of advice, what would it be? And if you are going to go down a route I think you're going down, just be gentle and kind. I've got 2 subscribers and they've been on YouTube for 4 days.
Okay, first of all, I don't know what route you thought I was going to go down, but I'm probably not going down that route. What are these emojis at the beginning of the title? Like, I
all right, okay. It wasn't about the thumbnails then. All right,
I don't know what these emojis are at the beginning of the title. Also, these titles are too long. You all have to realize that when you make the title too long on YouTube, YouTube will truncate them in the search results. So as people are scrolling down trying to figure out which video they want to watch, and you got these extra long titles in there, they're not going to see the whole title because YouTube is going to truncate it. So you got to figure out how to make your title shorter.
It is funny, isn't it? How like on the titles, this is why and it's been cut off. You can it's cut off. Yeah. Do this and I can't read the title.
Actually, Rob, I don't really have too many issues with the thumbnails. They actually look pretty good. Although, why does he have that tag at the bottom of all the thumbnails though? Like that.
That's a nice spot.
That's what I was going to mention. Was like you got to get rid of that.
Yeah, that needs to go. You don't need that tag. Whatever
we're talking about this, right?
Yeah, that whatever that is, whatever that means. Get it out of the thumbnail. You're wasting space. Don't do that. But other than that, that's all I got.
Jeff, any next steps for this new channel?
Well, firstly, what I want to say is this. One, it's entirely possible that Next Level Publishing is not their first channel because, one, there's already a strategy at play of channel launch. So they have multiple videos right at the beginning, which is nice. It's good to see. Secondly, one thing I would definitely focus on, well, of course, we want to remove, you don't really need your name in these thumbnails. It's not necessary. You already have yourself there. Nobody's going to click on it just because of your name. It's just, you're just wasting space there. So definitely want to make it a little less cluttered when it comes to that. The emojis and titles, the check mark I get, the star in the beginning seems a little unnecessary. And in Google search, those things don't show up anyway. So we're just wasting characters at this point. So the double, triple titles, that stuff's got to go. Keep it simple. Remember, it's a human that's got to click on them. But aside from that, I like where this is going. I'm not sure what your cadence is going to be moving forward. But overall, I like where you're going with the thumbnail, especially like why publish, and then 3 reasons, no need for your name. Keeping these thumbnails, even though you have big bold text, which is great, and you're keeping them under 3 to 4 words, perfect. I have good high hopes for where you're going to take this. So hopefully the content matches the overall packaging here.
And Dan, to wrap up advice for this channel, what have you got?
Yeah, Viper already covered titles. My next suggestion was just going to be to go out into the spaces that are similar to yours, like people giving advice on how to publish books, things like that, and see what they're doing in terms of title and thumbnails. This is going to be a huge help to you when looking to like clean up your titles a little bit, make them a little bit shorter. How to self-publish your first book. So this is like a super straightforward title and super straightforward thumbnail, right? Like we know exactly what we're getting. There's a reason that video has over 1 million views. How to self-publish your first book seems to be like a search term a lot of people are trying to rank for. The problem is it's not recycled a whole lot. So how else can you like pitch this content? Maybe it's been a while. Maybe it can be updated. Maybe you need to come in there now with updated advice. But how else can you pitch this content? And it seems like you are speaking to the plight of a writer. You know, you're talking about writer's block. You're talking about all this stuff on your channel. I just don't think it's being pitched in the right way. But it's just a matter of looking in this niche and trying to figure out, like, how can I communicate to this audience in a way that meets them where they are? Like, how can I communicate in a way that they're going to recognize? Because right now it feels like you're doing a really good job with titles, but they don't seem to be catered at that audience per se. There's something here. And it also looks like you're trying to use 2 titles in one, like Jeff pointed out earlier, with the break, with the green check mark, and then it goes on. It doesn't need that. Most writers never publish their first book. This is why. And how about this is why writers never publish their first book? That's the entire title.
Love it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So we don't need everything else.
You're focusing on the plight and the struggle and the fears, and this video is going to solve that fear. Really like that approach, Dan. And interestingly, 4 subscribers, 5 videos. They already have a community tab. It is now being pushed out to so many creators, and he's already using the community tab. Yes, at the moment you're only getting 2 votes, 1 vote, but that will build and grow over time. So great to see that you're using many aspects of the YouTube tools that are already available.
And fun fact about that community tab for Next Level Publishing is that you can schedule those. So get in there, schedule them out for the week, whether it's like, 1 to 3 posts per week or whatever you want to do as your cadence, schedule them out, just schedule them out and let them rock on their own. And just keep that going, automate what you can and focus on the other stuff.
Boom. Thank you for the super sticker, Stafford Searcher. I'm sure that appeared on chat on screen at some point. And thank you for the super chat from Mr. Moo and also Beast Muscle. You both asked the same question. Sorry, not that one. That was a different question. How do you get your channel reviewed? So we have 2 links in the video description. One for non-gaming channels, one for gaming channels. Make sure you fill out that form, and you may be randomly picked very, very soon. We're going to go through random selections in about 5 to 10 minutes time. And the question here, Beast Muscle, how can I get my channel monetized? Basically, you need 1,000 subscribers or 4,000 hours of watch time. You got to meet the community guidelines. You need to set up 2-factor authentication on your channel. If you want the longer answer, we have done tons of videos on these subjects. Just search vidIQ 1,000 subscribers or vidIQ 4,000 hours of watch time, and we will do our best to help you get there.
Rob, you're forgetting something, sir.
What am I forgetting?
You forgot the other path to monetization, sir.
Not yet. You're talking about 10 million YouTube Shorts views.
Right.
Well, no, actually, you're right. You're right now. So those do count as requirements, but monetization on shorts doesn't start until February.
Correct.
But any views you get now are counted towards eligibility. So yeah, thank you for correcting me there, Viper. But let's be honest, who on earth is going to get 10 million views in 90 days? No, I still have a bee in my bonnet about that. Next channel we are going to audit is Pallet Fortress. Camping, outdoors, bushcraft adventures for kids and for adults. They've just cracked 5,000 subscribers. So this channel is starting to build momentum, making videos at a cadence of roughly once every 2 weeks, so that it's a bit sporadic when they post content. This looks very promising. I'm going to kick it off with Dan, and then Jeff, Viper, do chime in.
It's a really interesting channel, right? Like we got thousands of views here, and I think a lot of room for improvement at the same time. I think that the thumbnails can be a little bit too many elements, right? Like trying to communicate a point a little too hard. We could simplify those. We can make the titles a little more exciting, like Halloween 22 preview. What else could be said, about that to make it a little more exciting? I saw these views and I thought maybe this content might be shared somewhere else because it just seems to break so many rules and yet have so many views.
300 likes,
a lot of comments.
I don't know what that's all about. Is that some weird location? Or
is that a zip code?
Is that a hashtag? That's a bit odd.
The location thing, automatic places.
Maybe this is a YouTube hack. It's in that one as well. Was that the same number? Shall I click on it? That is weird. What is all that about? Anyway, sorry, Dan, you were saying. I do apologize for interrupting.
Yeah, I'm just curious at where these videos, excuse me, are finding their audience, because this is really cool. It looks like as you're playing these videos too, they get right to the point. Like it doesn't seem like they waste a lot of time in their intros. But I wasn't hearing what was going on, but it just seemed like the video was kind of getting started right away. So and they're not super long, so a new viewer isn't committing to a lot of time before giving them a chance. So I think there's a lot of signs here of like a successful family vlogging style channel. And again, my advice was just going to be to go out there and see what other channels like yours are doing to keep working towards making those incremental improvements to your titles and to your thumbnails.
Viper, Jeff, what do you think?
So I know we always say it, but I'm about to say it again. We know your channel name, so I'm not sure why you're putting it in the thumbnail. And in the thumbnail, the way that you have them set up there out in nature, and your color of your text in that channel name is kind of like nature-y, so it kind of blends in with a lot of these thumbnails, so people can't even read it hardly. So I would just remove it completely. Also, like Dan was saying, in some of these thumbnails, you have way too much going on. You all, I said it before, and I'll say it again. If it takes me more than 2 seconds to understand what you're doing in your thumbnail, I'm probably not clicking on your video. It's just I'm just being honest with you. You have to keep it simple for viewers. Like, y'all know our attention spans are shortening with everything that's going on. Keep your thumbnail simple. I should be able to glance at it and know what I'm going to get, understand what the video is going to be about, and then I'll decide whether or not I'm going to click. But if all these elements and all this stuff going on, you're not doing yourself any favors, and the viewer's just going to go right past your thumbnail. Other than that, I think, like we talked about earlier, might want to add a little spice to the title, but I think the most work needs to be done on the thumbnail front.
It is curious, isn't it? It's because it's almost as if the videos are performing well in spite of what we think the quality of the thumbnails are like. Because there's many ways that these could be improved. I'm also intrigued as well by them including there's a discount code for presumably these products that they're selling in the titles. I'm wondering how effective that is. I've never seen anybody do that before. Use the title to advertise the fact there's going to be a discount code in the products they're talking about.
I kind of wonder if the products they're choosing, maybe they're really savvy and they keep choosing products that they know appeal to a certain, audience, and audience that likes camping. And the videos look really real to these users, right? They're scrolling through YouTube, they're trying to find reviews on this product, and they're like, oh, look, like a family with like kids are using this like tent and stuff, so I can get to a really good feel for how big the tent is, and you know, like what kind of environments, how easy it is to set up. There could be something there for sure. And then it makes me wonder, like, how many more views it could have gotten if the thumbnails were even better, if the titles were even better, because they might have like found something here. They might be tapping into something that is really successful.
Looks as if these videos are nicely shot, Dan, well edited. I think helpful to the viewer, like again, a 360-degree view of this camping equipment. And I'm sure the voiceovers are very useful as well. So I think that is all promising stuff. Just any final thoughts from you, Jeff, that you may have noticed?
No, man, you guys nailed it, man. The only thing I would say, if anything, would be the for the channel banner, just to make the value proposition clear, because we have the name, we have camping and outdoors and bushcraft and adventures for kids. There's a lot going on there. So if you can tell me in less than 5 words what I'm as a viewer, what am I going to get out of this channel? That would make a lot more sense. At least to me personally. But aside from that, man, you guys nailed it.
Okie dokie, that is Pallet Fortress. The next channel we are going to look at is the Expat Bricky, a Lego channel. Yay, celebrate. We're all big fans of Lego. And it just so happens that this channel is one of our members of vidIQ Max, the place to be for next level YouTube coaching and education and peer-to-peer learning. Jeff, you are the resident Max coach here. So do you want to introduce us to this channel? We can find out a little bit more about them and advice that we could potentially offer them.
Yeah, so, well, basically, I kind of want you guys to take a look at it and just kind of give your advice from what you can see here right up front. But yeah, we're doing speed builds, stop motion, Lego reviews. This is what they're doing. Definitely, I have, I think pretty much all of us. I'm not sure about Dan. I know the other 3 of us love Lego. Like that's one of our things. Not sure about Dan though.
I haven't bought a Lego set in a very long time, but I have my collection still. It's just kind of boxed away.
Nice. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, so that's really what it comes down to. So hopefully we can shoot them some good advice and kind of give them a helping hand here, at least from a different perspective.
My general thought, just looking at the thumbnails, is that they're not selling the Lego strongly enough. I mean, there is a strategy to use a box, but I would much prefer the completed build on there. So that would be my first thought. And some of these thumbnails with the fancy backgrounds are maybe a little too distracting on some of these. That would be my initial response. What about you, Dan?
Same. That was the biggest thing. And I think with Lego channels, the Legos are just inherently aesthetic. So you really got to sell those really well. So this is, again, a case of going around, seeing what other successful channels are kind of doing in your space. I was noticing that the thumbnails with the boxes, look at this. We have the dinosaur one, very simple thumbnail. Boom, 5,000 views. I mean, so this is exactly what we're talking about. Like there is room here for you. And I think a lot of these thumbnails you put a lot of thought into them, but it kind of hindered you. So like the street sweeper one at the bottom there, you took the street sweeper, you shrunk it down, and you tried to make it look like it was on a real street. And it's just like, it's clever, but cleverness doesn't really transcend. Like when people see like a thumbnail that's like clever, it just looks cluttered. Maybe that's a new thing, and maybe that's gonna be my thing. Like Sean Cannell has all these different things he says. Clever is cluttered for thumbnails. I think that's gonna be my thing that I just go around saying now because it sounds cool.
Viper, what do you reckon?
I definitely agree on the thumbnail front. There's way too much going on, and when you're doing videos about Lego, your focus with the thumbnail should be on the Lego. Literally, I mean that's how you're gonna bring.
That's a good
in.
thumbnail.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
Also, I mean, maybe not gray on gray, but just showing one thing. I like that.
Yeah.
How long does it take to film this?
Oh my gosh, is this necessary?
God, I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks cool. I think this is far too slow. Like, I would be speeding this up to I'm going to put it up to 2x speed. And it's probably...
Oh, 2x is perfect.
You reckon? You reckon that's about the right speed?
For me, I like this is satisfying now to watch it come together. Even a little faster wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. And here's the thing though too, at that speed, It depends on what you're doing, right? Because I've made mistakes. Oh God, I've made mistakes on some big builds where I have to go back and retrace my steps. And that's the worst. Oh my God. When you get so far into a build and then you have to go back because you messed up, you shifted one brick the wrong way, whatever it is. Yeah. And videos like this have helped me greatly realize those mistakes because they've go brick by brick showing exactly where they were supposed to go. And then I'm like, oh, dude. So, which really sucks. It'd be like, you'd be like an hour into a build and you're like, oh no, now you got to go back an hour. So, that stuff can help, but watching it as a viewer at 2x speed is, actually much more satisfying like that.
Also, you have the video called How to Build a Lego Sandwich Shop. Last time I checked, all Legos that come with instructions in the box. So what are we doing here? We're like
that's a good point. I guess if you bought it off like eBay and it didn't include the instructions, it's like, oh man.
Well, what if they made it up?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's possible.
But it's in the box. There's a box, so I don't know.
No, but but here's the thing though. There are a ton of how-to builds. Like there really, really are. And in a lot of different techniques on building Lego. Like some people love to speed build. I love taking my sweet time building Lego. But yeah, so there's definitely different strategies around doing it. And I'm liking that they're doing shorts around minifigures, that's my jam. That's my cup of tea. So
yeah, and they're having success with that. It's getting a nice number of views. I just want to watch one. I guess he does the same type of shot with all of these. Let's see what it's like.
Thank you, Tish. Who reads instructions? Thank you, Tish. Shout out to Tish in the chat.
So very simple, put together build. Again, maybe it could be a bit faster. You could have sped it up a little bit. And I'm wondering if they want to use some popular YouTube music. What are they currently using? So I think they're using some epic royalty-free music. I'm wondering if they could pick that from the YouTube library and maybe add a little bit more of the, I don't want to say SEO juice, but the kind of argument that popular music that's used within the YouTube tool might give you a better chance of being more discovered. But these videos are generally doing well regardless of that. So,
okay, is there like no narration or no commentary in any videos at all?
Well, not on these shorts there weren't. I would assume, Viper, that there's probably, I'm going to try this one, for example. Let's just jump into the middle of it. Oh no. That is literally ASMR, just playing with Lego bricks and the sound from them. So yeah, maybe none of these. No, maybe these.
I get it.
Some of these do, I think, where he's finding stuff online, maybe cheap Lego online.
Oh yeah, he's on camera for that one.
Yeah. So this is a creative. It's experimenting a lot. I mean, I've only been on YouTube for 2 months. They've done speed builds. They've done, I guess, research into Lego. They're doing these shorts. So they're still finding their feet. So there's a lot of promise.
Wait. Is he on camera or is he just put himself in a thumbnail?
No, one of the auto playing thumbnails, he was on camera.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He talked. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Like, I think there's definitely a market for people who just want to watch builds kind of come together, and there's not necessarily a need for talking. The shorts was a great suggestion. I think that because they're not talking, that's an opportunity to download it onto your phone, upload it through the YouTube app, and then look for those really popular trending songs that kind of match the vibe. Yeah. And that's all it is. When people are scrolling and they hear their favorite song, they're more likely to stop scrolling, and that's really the strategy behind using like that popular music.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That YouTube puts there for you, by the way. Just grab anything.
That is the Expat Bricky, and they've got a little bit of an extra bonus perk here by jumping to the front of VQ to get a channel audit, but they're going to gain so much more value from where they are 24/7, which is the vidIQ Max Discord, along with all of the learning materials that they get there. Jeff, I'm going to give you 45 seconds to tell us a little bit more about vidIQ Max and why people may want to give it a go.
So just to be clear, and I know Travis has said this better than I have, but it isn't for everyone, and we know that. But because we're not, vidIQ Max is not here to give you all the ideas, answers, things of all that nature. We're here to help you learn how to do this for yourself, right? We were taking the teach a man to fish approach instead of giving a man a fish. So you have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be willing to study. You have to be willing to watch the lessons and learn, and then start applying and experimenting those lessons on your channel. So we're not here to do the work for you. We're here to guide you to help teach you so that you can learn how to do the work for yourself. That's really, really what it comes down to. In addition to that, obviously you have the private Discord server where we have a ton of amazing creators getting awesome feedback on thumbnails, channels, videos, all of that stuff. But you also get full access to all of the Boost package tools. So you get the full suite of the vidIQ tools and software, and you get access to the community. So it's pretty amazing. At least for me, this is essentially what we tried to create here was what I would have wanted when I was first getting started on YouTube. A community of people that know what I'm going through, that can help you make better decisions for your channel moving forward. You can get feedback on what's working and what isn't, and really learn how YouTube works, because you have to understand how YouTube works for it to actually work for you. So definitely something that I highly recommend for people that can afford it. Like I said, it's not for everyone, but in my opinion, it's still the best deal that you can get in YouTube education, period.
So if you want to take your YouTube journey to the next level, the next stage, vidIQ Max may be for you. We have a huge discount that's always exclusive to this live stream. So if you check in the video description, you will see a link that takes you to the pricing plan page, and it will automatically shave off hundreds of dollars on an annual subscription to vidIQ Max. Do make sure to check it out. Thank you for your time. We will now return to normal programming, which are a couple of super chats that have come in. So let's just check through them. Thank you again, Dan, for starring them. Brianna Louise has a problem of getting decent views but no interaction. How might one solve such a problem?
Ask questions that are specific and relevant to your viewers. So since I talk about headphones and earbuds, I might ask a question in the middle of my video, usually earlier on, where I'll say something like, hey, so my favorite genre to listen to these headphones with is rock, but what's your favorite? Let me know down in the comment section. Ask them relevant questions. Give them a reason to respond. Don't be one of those people that say like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a reason. Give me a reason to leave you a comment. Ask me a question. Trust me, it works.
I don't think we could advance any better on that answer, Jeff. Thank you very much. Carmen's Humble Kitchen. How many times should I post shorts and long videos? Anyone want to hazard a answer to that one?
As many times as it takes. I would be posting to what works with your schedule. I wouldn't worry about the right amounts to post. I do think there's a velocity thing still with shorts. I think it's good to post shorts and post more shorts, because it seems like your first shorts may not do super well, but the success of your future shorts can trickle backwards to the success of your, to make your older shorts more successful. When it comes to long form videos, it really depends on, a lot more factors. I think shorts is just a more simplistic area of YouTube personally, but I don't want anyone to burn themselves out. That's the ultimate. You can't succeed on YouTube if you're like pedaling and not taking any time to like relax and learn.
My very general answer to this is, if you are impossible to replace, like nobody can make content like you make content, you can make videos whenever you want. You can take you a year to make a video if you want. However, if you have a lot of competition and people can start to watch other videos that are of a similar content quality conversation to yours, then there's a little bit more competitiveness. And you've just got to try and determine where you are in that step. For example, for us, we like to publish 2 or 3 times a week. But I know that Ed from Film Booth, he spends a bit more time making hard to replicate content. And so he has permission to maybe take 2 or 3 weeks to make his videos. Because I can't do what Ed does at Film Booth. But at the same time, I don't think he can do what we do, which is to post so often with our content. So it's kind of like what does your audience expect from that aspect? Another question. Noxious Asp. Why do videos explode then abruptly flatline?
Oh man, this is the most commonly asked question, I swear.
Right now, yeah.
It really is, especially when it comes to shorts. And the quick answer that we got from Todd, an actual YouTube employee working on the algorithms, is that YouTube is now testing much faster than it ever has before. So views can come in much quicker, but they also drop off much quicker if you're not meeting those thresholds that are satisfying a viewer. So that's really what it comes down to. And I know people before, like last year, hey, I was getting views for a long period of time, but now they just flatline really quick. It's because the system has changed. And this is where we are now. It tests really fast. You get the results really fast. So videos can die off very quickly. This is the environment that we are now operating in. And you got to get used to it until it changes again.
Yep.
All right.
YouTube's optimized now.
Yeah. You are right. I have found my next video idea, and it is, why is Mr. Moo's channel so terrible? I'll be making work on that very soon. I think he's referring to maybe when we were talking about monetization earlier on, but I've already forgotten what this video idea is, so I'm just thinking of something very quickly. Don says they have X number of subscribers, but only a small number of them appear for live streams. What can the reason for this be? Viper, you have a lot of experience live streaming, so you're well experienced with this differentiation between numbers. Now, what does it mean? How would you respond to this question?
Okay. So actually, what is happening right now is a very good example of the question. So this YouTube channel has over 1 million subscribers, but currently right now, there are 750 people watching. So we're not even getting 1% of our subscriber base watching this live stream right now. So live streams are interesting because they're happening in real time. People are doing so many different things throughout their day that they may not be able to come and join a live stream. And I think on the replays or whatever, we average out between 10 and 15,000 viewers per live stream. So it's a timing thing. And you have to remember, not only is it a timing thing, you got to think about people being all over the world. There are people that are asleep right now that can't watch, and people that, don't like live streaming as a content form anyway. Maybe they're just here for the regular 5 to 8 minute video. They don't want to sit here for like 2 or 3 hours and watch a live stream. So there's a lot of variables that go into it. It really just depends on the type of content that the individual wants to consume. But yeah, live streaming, since it happens in real time, the numbers are going to be different. And sometimes people feel like if they can't be there in real time, then they miss the magic and they don't want to watch the replay. So there's a lot that goes into it.
Old Man Gib, thanks a million, y'all. I just found out about vidIQ, and the pips are helping a bunch. Does anybody know what he means by pips?
I was going to ask you.
I don't know. You are welcome to our pips.
Might have said vids maybe, and it got spell checked or something, or auto corrected. That happens.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, who got the alarm going off? Who has to go?
Oh, that's me.
Dad's gone live.
That's the alarm that we're waffling on too long. That's what that is.
You rock. Very thankful for your videos. I've been live streaming daily, and your content has helped me so much. 3 weeks and up to 1,300 subscribers already.
Wow.
3 weeks.
Live streaming too.
Heck yeah, man.
Who is it? Don, you need to go over to Dad's Gone Live and see what's going on with his successful live streams. That is awesome progress. Congratulations to you. So thank you for sending in the super chats, by the way. I know it's kind of diverting us a little bit from the channel audits. Here's a question. Dan, maybe you can set this up as a quick poll. Would you like us to do maybe super chat driven Q&A live streams? So we just dedicate it to you asking your questions. Maybe that would work. I don't know. We're experimenting. We didn't think we'd get any super chats, but the fact that some of you sent some in, it's very much appreciated. But we need to get back to channel auditing. And now it's time for a little bit of this. I'm going to try and find the right screen one to play this time. Got it. Jeff just loves this part of the show. All right, so what we do right now is we have this machine that is ready to collect all of your channel submissions. As I said at the beginning of this live stream, we are always oversubscribed. We have 585 non-gaming channels submitted. We have 523 gaming channels submitted, over 1,000 channel submissions in total. And what we do is we plop this machine into our collection of balls that are all numbered. We take that number, we put it into our form, and with any luck, you have given me the right channel URL, and we can look at Love Your Life. It is a shorts channel. We are coming across this channel for the very first time, first impressions. It's always a little bit harder with shorts, but we will do our best. They're approaching 200 subscribers. First impressions, let's start with Jeff.
Sorry, I was navigating a couple different screens there. All right, so you said it was called Love Your Life? Oh, no. Love You Life.
Oh, sorry.
Interesting.
Love You Life. I do apologize.
Just fun stuff for you. So it looks like they're a strictly shorts channel, correct?
Yeah, look, so there's no tab for videos at all. So when there isn't content on live streams or videos, it just shows you the tab of the content available, which is interesting.
Yeah, interesting. And it looks like they're just focusing on completely random stuff.
With some success, in the sense
Yeah.
that each video is getting thousands of views at this point.
Yeah. And surprisingly decent thumbnails on these shorts, which is kind of interesting.
I wonder if it's worth maybe playing one of these to get a better idea of the contents.
Is there speaking or?
There was music. So actually what you can see here is I think they're using the YouTube tool to pick some popular music.
Smart.
And then throw it onto the short itself.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, this seems like the shotgun approach, the throw the stuff at the wall and hopefully something sticks. That's kind of what it seems like at this point. But interesting to say the least, because they're kind of hidden all over the place. You got basketball, you've got different stuff around countries, there's cars and world's best magician. So it's really, I don't know, there seems to be a complete lack of focus here. They're doing okay, I mean, with a bunch of these, but I would start to really hammer down like which ones are working better than others and start kind of focusing in and seeing if that could work better in your favor. Like how would you nap? Where would you nap the hardest? It has 10,000 views. Stuff like that. Like if it's something like that where it could be around sleep or around rest or relaxation, then maybe that could work better for this particular type of content. But I would start looking at that because it seems like there's a lot of experimentation going on, and I would start to focus in on what's working best, and the ones that are duds, start dropping them off and stop doing those.
I would also say that with this 1 and 2 thing you're doing, I'd be saying like leave a comment, like comment for car A, leave a like for car B, or like just doing things to like increase that like what do you call it, that engagement. You could even, I would love to see someone do this, but everyone's too afraid. I would love to see someone use the dislike button. So like for this car, dislike for this car, and see if the video continues to spread despite getting tons and tons of dislikes. Yeah, because I've always wondered, back in the day, people said, oh, dislike the video if you want. That's still engagement. That's still a positive thing. Is that true of shorts? Because I feel like the shorts, like if you dislike something, you're telling YouTube, don't show me this again. Do not do that. And so I would love to test that out.
This is a classic case of a faceless channel as well. We're not seeing the creator themselves in the content at all. They're using stock images, and I guess YouTube provided music, and they're starting to get a little bit of traction as well, which is interesting. I guess the question is, can this channel get to 10 million shorts views over 90 days by February? They've made a pretty good start. Like in a month, they're already nearly 100,000 views. I would forget about the subscriber count. If you get to 10 million views, you'll have 1,000 subscribers. What do we think? Do you think they're going to continue to build momentum? If maybe niche down a little bit?
I think so. I think targeting, even with shorts, starting to actually target and fine tune into a specific audience, I think it could still work in your favor. So some of the best shorts channels that I've seen are because they focused on a particular type of audience and they come back for more and more. So, case in point, our friend Jake Fellman.
All right, then. So that is Love You Live. Just want to highlight a quick technical issue that we have here. I'm seeing that 750 people are watching, and yet all of you haven't clicked the like button yet. So unlike what Dan said, please don't dislike the live stream. Just make sure you all like it. As who knows, it may help us algorithmically, or it may just all be a bunch of lies. I don't know, but I like to see parity and balance in the YouTube force when we have as many likes as we do concurrent viewers. Please fix that if you can. In the meantime, we will pick a gaming channel. 555. We don't have 555, so we're going to have to do 531, the latest channel. Submitted. I predicted that we would get more channel submissions than we currently have, and I increased the number, and we're just shy of that. So, Kenny Shifu down here. I'm getting a basketball vibe here. NBA 2K22. Some solid views, but what I would potentially argue about, and this is the posting cadence, when a new game comes out, it gets trendy very quickly, and then the interest starts to wane, especially with sports games that are recycled year over year.
Yeah.
I would be expecting a channel like this to be posting almost daily, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. So that would be my observation, because the views are pretty good. What else do you think?
I think they have a lot of interests because their latest 4 videos are basketball related, but before that, it looked like reactions.
Yeah.
And the reactions weren't taking off from what we can see just from a few months ago. So maybe there was a pivot, but my concern is, are they going to go back to reactions? Because it seemed like they've bounced between maybe gaming and reactions a bunch. I'm only judging them based on their thumbnails. I think they're reactions. So there's a lack of channel focus here. And I think that right now you're in a good place. If you really enjoy 2K23, then I would be, like Rob said, making a lot more videos on that, because right now is the peak interest. This is where people are the most excited. And even when it wanes, you're still going to have people who are playing it all the time and looking for content on it. So it'll be, you'll build up this like groundswell around you. And that's just what we've been talking about all day, right? Like making content for a specific audience. In that case, an audience that wants to know more about the latest, greatest NBA 2K game.
It is clear just from your most popular videos that your audience reacts best to gaming, basketball, video gaming content. So I would be probably pivoting my entire focus of this particular channel to this game. And then if you want to be more experimental elsewhere with other stuff, then I would have maybe like a second channel sort of running along in the background.
Yeah.
Yep,
So it's
I
very
agree.
clear. It's very clear that the people want to see more basketball stuff from you. Is that, hang on, let me just do recently uploaded. Any thoughts on the thumbnails? If we just looked at the last 3, which are basketball ones.
I think this is a pretty good standard. I think they, like, compared to 2K23 thumbnails we've seen recently on this live stream, I think they're way up there. We've seen a bunch that are just kind of like a screenshot from the game happening. So I like that you have the like a character that seems to be like the center of attention, and you're kind of like, you give a little bit of context as to like what's going to happen. I think they, in some cases, might not be as basketball-y as they could be, but I like where they're going. I like the way they've been put together. They could just be a little more targeted, I think, and that's a matter of, again, doing that research, seeing what the audience is responding to.
Indeed. All right, so pick another channel. Going to be a non-gaming channel, and I am going to nominate a Viper to give his reactions first on this next one. Dan has just stepped out for a second. I'm sure he will be back. But for you, Viper, this may be a challenge because I think it's a meme channel. And these can always be a little chaotic, like not really sure what's going on. And it's a shorts channel. But we're looking at Memesy, I think. Memesy was an imposter. 500 subscribers, view counts very recently have just gone through. Well, we had a couple of videos that didn't perform very well. So I was curious when I see just 2 shorts with like 8 views, 4 views, and then you're into thousands of views. But is there anything that you could deduce from what we're looking at here?
It's interesting that the latest video got over 4,000 or over 3,000 views each, but those 2 shorts stand out like a sore thumb with 8 views and 4 views. I wonder why that is. That's very odd. But by and large, this channel is literally outperforming their sub count, which is pretty awesome on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's not easy. That's not an easy thing to do. So, it's kind of hard to give any more critique without actually watching the content. But I mean, we're doing good. Although the shorts are doing well, but I wonder if the thumbnails that they're populating here with all the text in them that might be a little off-putting to somebody that's stopping by the channel. But I know with short content, it doesn't really work that way. We just roll through the short feed and they show up. So I don't know. I think, yeah, I mean, hell, keep doing what you're doing.
I think they are victims of just bad thumbnails that have been chosen by YouTube, because as I'm watching the shot, you can see that the text slowly introduces itself on the video. And they are right, by the way. I mean, that is a fantastic point, that the technology used for the 10-yard line is still through this chain system. Quite humorous. But I mean, they are literally telling us this is literally a dank meme channel, and they're embracing that. And you know, the titles are very simple, but I'm still of the opinion that if you find just a general title that works on shorts, you don't deviate from it. You just stick to it, and then whatever the content itself within this title can be fairly expansive. You can really do whatever you want. Dan, we're looking at a dank meme channel here, and we're struggling to offer advice because currently they're just getting tons of views and performing really well.
Oh,
nothing viral though, I guess. Oh, that's one thing I would say is like it's all super consistent views.
Are they doing memes about trending topics? Like, for example, right now, everyone on Twitter is enjoying dunking on Elon Musk. Could there be some opportunities there?
The one here, I think this one is somewhat about it. I can see it in the thumbnail at least.
Yeah, so there's one. Look at the quality of this, though. I don't know what it sounds like right now, but look how much reading I have to do. Look at how much work, I guess, is there for the viewer.
So there's some comedy music and a robot voice reading out these this text, which we will accept more in shorts, right? We have more of an acceptance of robot voice in these situations.
Yeah, I think if that's the case, if there's like a robot voice, yeah, that's, you know, at least I don't have to read, which is nice. I like having the option.
Where am I in this voting poll? just a question. And also, Walter White wasn't 2000. He was like 2010. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. You know, I guess what we can say here is, you know, like, even though this is a dank meme channel, there seems like a lot of structure and consistency. Like each video, it looks as if you know what you're going to get. And if I'm going to be tuning in every time, I'm going to feel comfortable and safe in the content that's going to be delivered every time. So even though we're in this idea of dank memes, it's a very consistent dank meme channel. And I think the creator should be applauded for that.
Yeah, just keep uploading. Keep playing with the trendiest of trending topics you can.
Okay, let's pick another gaming channel. Which channel? 73. This is going to be another shorts channel.
Oh.
Is it interesting now? We can look at the summary, I think. Is it on this one? Yeah. So you can see like a quarter of gaming channels submitting are dedicated shorts channel. That's the impact YouTube Shorts is now having on the creator community. Okay, this person's jumping into Christmas early. Macro Creeper YT. They are doing long form content on a very regular basis, but because they've told us they're a shorts channel, we should probably look at the shorts more. But I think, is this Spanish, Portuguese titles?
Looks like Spanish to me.
Thanks, Jeff. I knew you'd be able to just chime in on that. So it's really difficult actually to analyze these unless you know what the titles are.
I'm surprised that your Google didn't automatically translate them, which is kind of interesting. Usually when I land on different channels from like around the world, it'll start automatically like translating their titles for me. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Your life on Minecraft or your life in Minecraft. Interesting. Huh. I can't hear anything, but I'm assuming there's got to be something going on. Music.
Just some music. Yeah, just some music. Yeah. I think it was Michael Jackson that was playing as well. Nice. Seeing TikTok there, I assume you are NTCraft27. Yeah. And you're not taking someone else's content.
Yeah, and there's InShot also, watermarks and stuff. If there's a way that they could get rid of some of that stuff, record your content outside of outside of TikTok and then bring it to YouTube, or you record it outside of both and you can put it up on both without any watermarks. And then 2, you have the InShot watermark. I know sometimes editing software costs money, but if you're actually serious about this, it's worth the investment.
Yeah.
Red flag, different TikTok user there.
Ooh.
So now I'm not sure if this is all of your content.
If you are reposting other people's content, man, yep, no bueno.
Please don't do that unless you're adding significant transformational stuff to it.
Yeah, just I mean, I know people think it's okay because other channels get away with it. Well, this channel got away with it, so why can't I do it? Listen, don't be a part of the problem. Be a part of the solution.
Well, I've always wondered, like, when people do that and then they want advice from us. I'm like,
yeah,
but I don't
like,
know what do you want to do on YouTube? Because right now you're just doing what other people do.
This is Jake Fellman. I mean,
Yeah.
hang on. So just let me replay that. This is the worst kind of repurposing of content because they've flipped around Jake Fellman's watermark, and then it's somebody else who's ripped it onto TikTok, and then this person has ripped it off them and put it on YouTube. That angers me.
Children. Children, they will never learn. They will never learn.
Yeah,
I think we should just-
being lazy is not gonna work for you, and you'll get exposed really, really quickly. People can tell when you've been doing stuff like stealing content, when you've been buying subscribers, a lot of that stuff. It's very, very easy to see. So yeah, that's either do it the right way or get roasted.
We'll move on. Okay, next channel. I have ADHD. They're just being very honest with what their channel is about. So I think that's a clear indicator as to what I'm going to find here. And I always say, for people who are wanting to share their challenges in life, their vulnerabilities, and I want to talk about it on YouTube, this is the bedrock. This is the foundation on which YouTube is built, because you will realize through this content that there are thousands, potentially millions of other people out there who have these similar thoughts, challenges, struggles, and that they can go to YouTube and find help and assistance with this. So I always applaud channels that are going to do this. It's not necessarily going to make the most money, but it's going to change people's lives in a positive way. So thank you for being on
we
YouTube.
got a problem here. His latest video is talking about how he's quitting doing content. So what are we doing?
So yeah, they've submitted their channel.
Right.
Like, let's look at what they've done in the past, and maybe they're looking to us for motivation to get back onto YouTube.
Huh.
Yeah, because consistency is definitely a problem here.
I mean, they did post several videos within a space of a couple of weeks, and then they took a big break, and now they posted a little update. Let's just assume that they were going to start posting regular content again. But do we think the thumbnails look pretty solid? The view counts look pretty solid. It looks like they've found an audience and they're speaking to the audience on a regular basis. Well, they could speak to their audience on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think that's the first critique is the consistency. You got to be consistent with the content. Me and Rob had an epic conversation yesterday, which you guys will hear in the future, but consistency counts for so much on this platform. Just being there and being consistent in your content, your thumbnails, your titles, and everything like that. Consistency will take you a long way on this platform, and you guys, you got to do it. I mean, there's no workaround, there's no shortcuts. You just have to be consistent with the content, and the rest will take care of itself.
I think looking at their videos that they've done in the past, I mean, maybe they ran out of ideas. Maybe like initially they were like, oh, I have a bunch of like ideas, and they kind of made all their videos. And then, I can only guess because we haven't seen a video lately. But I think maybe what you could do is zoom out a little bit. Like your channel is very specific. It's not just like about ADHD, but it's also about being Christian. I wonder if you can zoom out a little bit and just like approach your content from one or the other perspective, like tips for living your life, as one or the other, and see how there's other channels like yours out there. Like, see, again, I've been giving this advice all day, but just see what they're doing. Like, that's where I get my inspiration for what I make, is by doing just that. I go into spaces similar to my own and I see what's going on. I see what people are interested in. I see what's, I go outside of YouTube as well. Like subreddits for different communities are great places for inspiration, and Discord servers and things like that. So I wonder if that's what's happening here. Is it's like a lack of ideas, and maybe that's the advice they need, is just be told to go out there and, like, you know, don't be afraid to kind of pivot a little bit and try to figure out, like, you know, how else can you position your content.
2 options I would suggest. You could obviously plug your channel into vidIQ, daily ideas. That's going to start kicking out lots of ideas surrounding the videos that you've already spoken about. For us, obviously, it's YouTube education. We're getting like 50 video ideas every single day. If you use the free aspect of a tool, you'll get 3 a day. So that might be a starting point. But also, this first video has got 3,000 views. And I think there's a lot of people sharing their stories. Like, look, when you look at the comments and you see how long some of these responses are, it clearly shows that this community cares about what this creator's posted. And I think there could be tons of ideas for inspiration there as well. So maybe read through these comments, think about ideas you can generate from these comments as well. Because you've got real potential here if you start making videos. My suggestion to you in terms of committing to consistency is, can you make 3 videos by the end of this year? So that's 1 over each fortnight, every 2 weeks to the end of the year, just to kickstart your YouTube journey once again.
Got to be careful with the language you use, Rob. You can't talk about Fortnite in a vidIQ crowd. Come on.
Yeah, I was wondering. I said that and I thought, do you know what Fortnite means?
I mean, I know what it means, but
I know what it means. Yeah.
Other than being a video game.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I just wasn't sure if Fortnite was suddenly like a UK colloquially.
no. And if anybody who doesn't know, Fortnite is not just a video game. The word itself means 14 days.
Yeah.
Thank you.
For anybody who's unfamiliar.
You've got me thinking now, because we went up to Grouse Mountain. It's a big mountain in Vancouver, and somebody's walking past, and I was saying, because it just snowed and so it was cold, but this person walked past in shorts, and I said, that's a power move. We're wearing shorts and trainers up here on this mountain. And I suddenly realized trainers, I should have said sneakers, because he gave me a bit of a weird look, as if they didn't know what I was talking about. Anyway, that's Rob's daily trials and tribulations in North America and dealing with the language. Right. We're going to do a gaming channel, right? 367.
We should take a look after this. We got quite a few super chats.
Yeah, I'd seen that, Dan. Yeah, this is going to be the last channel before we do some more super chats. And this channel calls themselves Citrix. Phenomenal thumbnails. Just looking at the first impressions here. It's a Minecraft channel, Dan, though, so they are in a very competitive space. 100 subscribers. Some views already over 100 views. Promising stuff.
Yeah, there's some really interesting things here. So I think the best example of what they've done right is on the right side, top right thumbnail. I joined the most chaotic server. You've surrounded yourself in TNT, and you put day 1 in the thumbnail. And I think that's a really good example of, you know, drawing, like giving people exactly enough in a video title and thumbnail, right? Like I know what this is because it looks like Minecraft. You don't have to say it in the title. You're telling me something chaotic is going to happen, and then you're proving it with your thumbnail by showing me all this TNT. All I can assume as the viewer is, wow, are you going to go on this server and blow it up? And it makes me want to watch. It makes me want to see what's going on. So like, that's a really good example. There's other stuff you've been doing, though, that it feels like sometimes you don't know what the thumbnail should be, and forgive me if I'm wrong here, but you kind of phone it in, right? It's your character and then a little bit of text. And those videos are not performing as well.
This one, as an example, would you say?
Yeah. The best Minecraft SMP. What makes it the best? Like, that should be in the thumbnail. If you're going to say something is the best Minecraft SMP, there should be something in the thumbnail that, you know, translates, that drives that point home, so I can go, oh, that's what you mean, and then click on your video. If you can't figure that out, I would keep playing with titles and thumbnails and different combinations, because, yeah, that's like your best video too, the most chaotic Minecraft server one. I think you did a perfect job on that title and thumbnail, and that's the direction you need to go. Also, great, congrats on 100 subscribers. Those 100 subscribers don't necessarily care. So yep. I'm an advocate for not ever doing 100 subscriber dedicated celebration videos.
Yes, celebrate that in the community tab, not as its own video.
Mention it in the next video. By the way, we hit 100. Thank you.
Or you can mention it in the video, but it's not the focus of the title and the thumbnail, right? It can just be dropped in at some point.
Right, on a different type of video.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So that is Citrix there. Yeah, 100 subscribers, you know, can now claim your custom URL. And Dan, as you rightly pointed out, there are a few super chats that we should get to. Mr. Moo, with his latest message, can't believe you violated me like that.
Violated,
well,
sir.
I'm continuing to financially violate you with more super chats. Keep them coming.
Oh my god.
Next one is from Hoxall. If you post outside your niche, will it break your channel?
No and yes, and yes and no.
No,
It
not really.
it's about your audience, right? Like I think we can all agree it's about the audience that your videos cater to. So if you're outside your niche, meaning let's say you're a gaming channel that tries to play a different game, does that game resonate with that audience? And if it does, then no. I think it could help. I think it could help grow your channel. So yeah, it's you should get to know your audience before deciding you know, what kind of move that is.
Yeah.
Gaming Demon 666. Just started watching vidIQ and I've gained over 1,000 subscribers, I presume, from it. And now I'm at 1.3. And I also got monetized. Awesome. You gained over $360 and it's only been 3 weeks. So another celebration story there. Well done.
Nice.
So the next piece of advice is, great, you've earned $360 in ad revenue, I assume. Imagine the potential revenue streams you can start to open up outside of that. You should be checking out Heather from last week and the Think Media stuff for some more business growth opportunities. We got a blank message here, maybe from Shekinan. Thank you. I'm not sure if it was a message supposed to be there or it was maybe a super sticky. Old Man Gib saying his content is varied between gaming, mental health, and personal journey. Yeah, I have stalled at over 200 subscribers. Do you think they're also almost describing their problem in that comment? Like,
Yep.
I do varied stuff and I've stalled at 200 subscribers. Maybe it's a variation that's preventing more viewers finding your content.
Not just any variation. That's a hell of a variation. Gaming, mental health, and your personal journey. Like none of that. There's no common denominator in any of that, really. So.
Yeah.
Danny Derpy, I think, who we audited at the very beginning of this show, is still super torn over the advice he got, presumably from him.
I think he's having an existential crisis. That's what that's called.
We all go through them. I know in my heart of hearts that horror won't do well, but I just enjoy making it so damn much.
All right, here's the tough love segment of the live stream. You can continue to make that content, but if you do that, don't do it with the expectation of growing your channel. You've tried it, and it's not working. So you have one or two choices there. You can continue to make that content and continue to grow at your current rate, or you can try some other content and maybe your channel might grow faster. But the choice is yours ultimately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have two channels at this point, to be completely honest. If you find that this content you're super passionate about, cool, keep that. But if you want the other content, it needs to be on a separate channel, and you can actually have a better chance of growing that channel, you know, to grow, to get subs, to get views, to monetize it, stuff like that. You can have that as that avenue. There's nothing stopping you from having that as a second channel. And you can still have the passion project there. We just have to set expectations. That's all. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can still do both. They just need to both be in their own lanes.
I was gonna say, because I saw this follow up too. You don't have to ask us for permission either. I wouldn't go out there and seek permission from anybody. It's your channel. Keep testing things. You can't. Your channel is more resilient than you think it is. You can try some stuff. It's not gonna hurt anything to try things, you know. And you don't need our permission to do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
I like to emphasize, like when somebody says, "Should I do this?" and it's like, well, you don't have to ask our permission. We're just giving you our experience and knowledge as passionate educators. You can choose to do what you want with that, but you should never take ours or anybody else's advice as a hard and fast written rule of YouTube, because there are so many routes to success. I think more often than not, we're just trying to steer you away from the mistakes and the pitfalls that are going to slow you down. And you know, maybe the question of the horror genre is what's slowing you down right now, or these independent horror games that just aren't finding any traction. Callan Contendant. Is that a clever channel name that I just can't read out properly? Callan Contendant. Long form videos and shorts on the same day, yes or no? What do you think to this one?
Yeah,
Yep,
Simple
they're
answer.
targeting different audiences. So.
we did it today.
Yep.
Well, this is a live stream, so it's a little bit different. But
It's
yeah,
even longer.
we are. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm actually filming a video this morning, and one of the conversations that's coming up is, should I post long form content and shorts on the same channel or a different channel? We've now been experimenting with shorts on our channel for about 3 months on the main channel, and there is no evidence to suggest that the shorts that we are posting are having any detrimental impact on our long form content. That's not to say that our shorts are performing really well. You know, we're still trying to figure out that part of our YouTube channel, but the long form content is performing as well as ever. So in any argument, anecdotally, the more shorts we post, the better our long form content does. But I don't want to say that's a fact. So Badass Michael, I think, sent us a couple of super stickies. Can't show them on here, unfortunately. God, we're getting all sorts of super chats here. Absolute legends, appreciate what you guys do. Just a small thanks on behalf of the chat. You are more than welcome. Thank you very much for that. Do you think you can do my channel? Well, if you've submitted in the form and if it is randomly picked, then yes, we will audit the channel, but we are not placing channel submissions through Super Chat. We don't want to create a financial barrier to this. Maybe vidIQ Max is a better place for you to be, not necessarily for channel audits, but for conversation and advice on a 24/7 basis. What has happened to Jeff?
This is my no face.
Dear. Mr. Rainbow Loves Coffee just got their first 13,000 views in one video. How do I get my next big video? How long does it usually take? That's an interesting question.
Double down.
Yeah.
You got your first big video. Learn everything you can about it. Try and disconnect yourself emotionally from it, and then just look at it analytically. What was it about? What resonated with people? Why did this video perform and your previous video didn't? And try to follow those lessons. So, all we can do is look at our data and try and learn from it.
Yeah. This is also why when you come up with an idea for a video, also make sure you have 2 additional ideas minimum. In case that video takes off, you don't have to think, oh, what else am I going to make a video about? You already have those ideas. So every time you come up with a video idea, come up with 2 additional ones that you can have as a spin-off to those videos in case it pops off. And that way you can respond quickly because you already have the idea. You just got to shoot the video.
I want to hop on with something that Dan just said real quick. And he said, disconnect yourself emotionally. And I think that's something that's difficult for a lot of creators because we are so in it that we can't really step back and detach the emotion. And that's where a support system comes in. You need to have a few creators that you can rely on and count on to hold you accountable and let you know what's going on when you're making decisions that might not be in the best interest of the viewer or your content itself, because they're not going to have the emotional attachment to your content that you do. So I would advise all of you all, if you can have some type of support system around you, just to keep you accountable for what you're doing, it's a good look.
Viper, as well as anyone, I was trying to say this word yesterday and I could not do it. So I'm going to try it first time. Compartmentalize.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Thank you. If you want to listen to the podcast and 5 minutes worth of me trying to say that word, do tune in. You don't want to put all of your emotional and physical effort into one video and hope that that's going to be the one that's going to succeed. You have to finish the video, move on to the next thing. So with this one, you got 13,000 views. Brilliant. Even if you double down and make a very similar video to it, chances are you might get 4,000 views, which may seem like a big disappointment. But if your general cadence for videos is 100 views per video, you're still well above your benchmark and your average. So try to appreciate that as you go forward. Getting more views with shorts, I think it stands to reason that short form content is consumed very quickly and you can get a lot more shorts from it. Your channel can grow very fast indeed. And dedicated shorts versus clips from long form lessons. We are actually experimenting with this ourselves, then, aren't we? And we've decided that clips from long form content don't seem to work very well just because of the way we structure our long form content. When we do the edit, it's too janky and clunky. So we literally refilm for a shorts audience when we're doing that. I can't tell you if that works or not, but that's what we're experimenting with. It's just impossible to repurpose that content effectively in our case.
Yeah, just take one of the little lessons from your video and shoot it separately. You know, give it a really catchy title that you say out loud when someone scrolls to it, and just make it that one chunk. And don't invite people to watch a longer version of the video or anything like that. Let it live on its own. Just let it be its own thing.
Yo, Spooker, I don't know what that currency is, but we've got 25 of them now. I uploaded a few videos applying the tips from your channel, and they did well, but after one day, they stopped getting traction. What now?
Make more videos.
Yeah, it is often, yeah. Content
I've
is
seen
recycled.
it. No, I've seen it many times where people will upload videos thinking that that's like, all right, I put up 10 videos. Now my channel should just take off on its own. Nah, fam. Got to keep going. Rinse and
Especially
repeat.
with shorts. If you're getting attraction in one day, that happens a lot in shorts. You got to keep feeding the audience because they can churn through so many videos, and there's so many videos being uploaded. YouTube has fresh content all of the time. And we have from Pro Billy, I uploaded some OW2 videos.
Overwatch 2.
Overwatch 2, okay. And they did very well for my channel, but a lot of my content needs a group. All the people I record with, most don't play it too often. I felt switch to COD before it's too late. That's a conundrum, isn't it? Because it's probably popular because the grouped gaming videos are harder to film and replicate, and now you don't have the same access to that content.
You got to join a community. If let's, like, you were thinking Call of Duty, so I'm thinking maybe more of your friends are playing that than Overwatch, which is fine, but you can join a community. If that content's doing well and you're enjoying it, it'd be a shame to turn your back on it now. By the way, if you're going to do any more super chats, thank you so much for your super chats. We are getting kind of late into the stream, so they might get missed now. Just want to throw that out there.
But appreciate you all supporting the channel through this way. Good stuff. Now, do we have a time to pick another channel here, Dan? Let's see.
Do we think we have enough time? I don't know.
Okay,
we could try
in 5 minutes. See if you remember.
We don't have 5 minutes, sir.
Well, yeah, we are coming to the close.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have finally done it.
I am mere days away from the final cancellation of Rob Wilson from vidIQ. In 1 week, I will come back and cancel Rob Wilson for good. This is some of the most high quality garbage I've ever seen in my entire. I've never seen something so high quality that is absolutely not good. Definitely shorts, the liquor of the foolish. Absolutely trash. My, how the turntables have turned. Ladies and gentlefolk, the time has come. As a matter of fact, I'm here to celebrate as I've finally done what it only took me a couple weeks to do. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have my victory McRib right now. This victory McRib for defeating the evil Rob Wilson. Let me go ahead and... Oh, this thing is terrible. What? Why would anyone buy that? That's terrible. That's trash. I forget the victory McRib. Let's get down to business. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Dr. Savagery. And I am here to break the news that I have succeeded in canceling Rob Wilson. But let me take you back. Let me spin you a tale. Everyone come back on the stream so I can see the faces of all you beautiful people. Listen here, Rob Wilson. I found you out. For over 2 years, you've had me thinking that Dan was terrible. And while you were mostly right, it wasn't for the reasons that I thought. It was you all along. All the times you came and you said that I was terrible and that you didn't like this segment and to not take my information seriously, I finally figured it out. And you know, I thought, now I got to get rid of Rob Wilson. Now he's hard. He is the face of vidIQ. How do you do this? Well, I watched the news, Rob Wilson. And you know what happened on the news recently?
What's that?
Elon Musk bought Twitter. So I thought, man, that's a good idea. So right here, I have the documents where I have controlling interest of vidIQ. I bought 51% shares. 51%, that's the controlling interest of vidIQ. I want you to understand something, Rob Wilson. much the same way the McRib will go away. We'll never see it again. Like this piece of trash. I think it's time that I quote one of the greatest entertainers of all time. You know what that is, Rob Wilson? His name was Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
Oh.
And he used to say something all the time. Now that I have control of vidIQ, he used to look deep into the eyes of the person that he didn't like anymore. And he would take a deep breath. And he would utter a couple of words that would forever shadow the life of the other person. And I'm about to do that for you there, Rob Wilson. But before I do, I just want to let you know that it's not been a pleasure all these years. I'm finally canceling you in front of all of these millions upon millions of people.
Oh, no.
People didn't think I could do it. But I had many shell corporations. Remember the Savage Academy? That's how I financed all this. I've been using this live stream to get my money up to buy the shares in vidIQ, and it worked. So, Rob Wilson, I'm going to tell you something. Look me in the eyes, Rob Wilson. I'm going to repeat what Vincent Kennedy McMahon always said. You're fired. For at least 3 months, maybe longer. I don't know. I got to think about it. But for sure, at least 3 months. I don't want you on this live stream.
3 months.
No more. You're out of here. You're off the live stream. You're done. You're canceled. You're out of here. And maybe we'll use some of your footage and some videos from now on.
You can't do that.
We got to get some. You got to get something out of you. We already paid you for those, so you might see some videos from them on the regular channel. But as far as live stream go, I don't like you anymore. Get your ugly face out of here. You don't got to go home, but you got to get out of here. Do you have any final words for us as I've successfully canceled you by buying out vidIQ?
You know what, Savage? I've had a lot bubbling up inside me over 5+ years of doing this.
Sure it wasn't McRib? Because that's bubbling up in me right now. I'm telling you right now. Oh, my God.
I have done at least 300 episodes. We have audited, at this point, tens of thousands of channels. Endless Minecraft channels. And I think it's now time for a pipe bomb promo.
Wait, what? What does that mean?
I've had it. You're right. I can't do this anymore. I'm sick and tired of people filling out this form incorrectly, saying that they're a gaming channel on the non-gaming form and then not going to the right form. That infuriates me. I'm sick and tired of people not understanding that red text on thumbnails does not work. If I see another Let's Play gaming channel for the rest of my life, that could just end it all for me as a content creator and as a YouTube educator. I'm done. I'm sick and tired of a lot of you, to be honest. Dan, you've got too nice a voice. I can't deal with it. It just drives it. Jeff, you're too cool. Like, how can you wear those glasses all of the time in your office? Viper, your passion. I just can't compete with that. It's just too much. And as for this cretin down here, who looks suspiciously like someone else here at vidIQ, but apparently isn't. And every time he has to look at the screen, he has to like look down over the shades because he can't see anything out of them. You are a nemesis I can no longer deal with. I am not, for one thing, going to join the Kiss My Ass Club. That is definite.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. And as for all of you who are watching right now, I can't help you. I try my best. I've done 1,000 videos on vidIQ, and yet you're still here asking the same questions all of the time. How do I get more views? How do I get more subscribers? The simple answer is make more videos. And that's all I can put up with. That is it. I'm out of here. And you know what? It's easy to get out of here because I have had a lucrative offer.
What?
And I think I'm going to accept it. I think, yeah, I think it is time.
No, don't let him say it. Don't let him say it. Don't let him say it. Cut the feed. Cut the